What if one man could decide who gets internet and who goes dark? Not a government, not a court, not a country, just one billionaire, one switch, and thousands of satellites orbiting above your head. Tonight, guys, we're talking about Starlink, Elon Musk's satellite internet, and why its growing power is raising alarms from Iran to Ukraine to Latin America. Because this isn't just about technology anymore, it's about control. Iran has one of the world's most tightly controlled internet systems. Social media is blocked. Independent news is restricted. Entire regions can be plunged offline at the government's command. But Starlink doesn't need cables. It doesn't rely on cell towers. It doesn't ask permission because Starlink connects directly to satellites in low Earth orbit beyond the reach of state borders. Right now, despite a nationwide ban, Starlink internet is active in parts of Iran. If you have the terminal, you can access the global internet. But there's a deadly risk. Starlink is not licensed in Iran. Being caught using it can mean prison or even worse. And the regime is actively hunting for users. So how did tens of thousands of terminals get there? They were smuggled in, small enough to fit in backpacks, brought in by boat from Dubai, carried across borders through Iraq, Kurdistan. Each terminal costs hundreds of dollars plus a subscription, often paid for by activists and human rights groups. Estimates suggest 50,000 to 100,000 terminals are already in Iran. Which leads to the real question. If Iran never approved it, why does Starlink work at all? The answer is simple and unsettling because Elon Musk turned it on. The beams are on. That's what he tweeted. In the middle of regional conflict, someone asked Musk on social media to activate Starlink. His response, the beams are on. Just like that. No vote, no international government, no international agreement, no oversight. One private citizen made a decision that affected an entire country's access to information. Starlink now operates in over 150 countries. There are thousands of satellites already in orbit. This is no longer just an internet company. It's a global infrastructure power. And we have already seen what that power can do. In Ukraine, Starlink became essential to military communications. But during a critical operation, the service was restricted, disrupting drone missions and altering battlefield outcomes. In Myanmar, rebel groups turned to Starlink after the military shut down the internet. In Sudan, reports say both sides of a brutal civil war are using it. In Venezuela, Starlink was activated after U.S. military action offered for free. Again and again, Starlink appears at the center of global conflict. Here's the issue. This is too much power for one person. Elon Musk is not an elected official. He is not accountable to international law in the way governments are. And let's be very clear, this isn't about moral heroism. If Starlink were purely about freedom, why isn't it active over China? Because Musk has massive business interests there. So access to the internet doesn't depend on universal principles. It depends on where Musk's interests lie. That should concern everyone. Starlink is also ultimately a US company, which means its influence aligns directly or indirectly with American power. When internet access can shape wars, protests, and revolutions, it becomes a geopolitical tool. And no country, friend or foe, should be comfortable with that level of dependency. Some already are. Iran has reportedly disrupted a large percentage of Starlink traffic using advanced military-grade jamming, likely with foreign assistance. Experts say Starlink relies on GPS signals. Jam the GPS and you disrupt the connection. The technology war has already begun. Starlink sounds like freedom, and sometimes it is. But today is Iran. Tomorrow it could be somewhere else, maybe even closer to home. Internet censorship should be challenged through laws, courts, and accountability, not handed over to a billionaire's discretion. Because Elon Musk isn't fighting for your rights. He's fighting for his interest. And no one person should decide who gets to speak to the world. So guys, this is Status Check, where you get timely information, truth information, speaking truth to power. Don't forget to subscribe to Starlink. Interesting times ahead, guys. Interesting times.